Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to play some more 60 Seconds Reatomized. We're trying to get all these achievements done, and we're also trying to get all the challenges done. I just completed another one. It was the Responsible Parenting. Make it 50 days and keep the kids alive. That was a pretty tricky one, I'm going to be honest. What are the ones that we have left? Keep Timmy alive until rescue comes. Um, hmm. What's this one? Survive 99 days. We're going to put that one off for a little bit. That's going to be a really hard one. This one, survive 50 days, but don't lose the dog. Protect the shelter. Oh, we already did this one. Send out 7 successful expeditions. We're going to try this one again. This one has been difficult. I think we've tried it 3 or 4 times now, and we have not gotten it yet. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. Hey, by the way, if you're enjoying the videos, make sure you subscribe if you want to see some more. Also, make sure you comment, leave a like. It actually helps the channel quite a bit. So, you know, let's give them all some Viking helmets because we're getting through this one, you know. Where's your helmet, brother? There we go. We are ready to go. We're ready to go. After weeks down here, it's not looking good for us in terms of supplies, but there's hope. We learned that on the radio that there's hidden supply cache nearby. Hopefully the transmission gave us enough to go by, and we can locate it before the radioactivity out there makes us grow extra pairs of anything. Alright, so we have to do 7 expeditions. We'll just start it off. Whoever designed this fallout shelter was a genius, but we can't tell if that green stuff dripping from the pipe is an included feature. We should probably try to do something about it with whatever we brought down here. Honestly, getting Mary Jane to be mutant would be crispy. So we're going to go ahead and do that and just hope we get that, because there is a chance that she could be a mutant from this. Nothing worked. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. We couldn't figure it out, so we assumed that that's just what a regular pipe would do in the event of a nuclear apocalypse and decided to ignore it. We've been feeling a bit funny today, though. Probably no connection to the pipe whatsoever. Fair, fair. Everybody's just fatigued, which is okay. We're going to send the dad out. What all do we have? Not much, to be honest. We'll send him with a suitcase. We don't want him to get sick, so we'll send him with a gas mask. We're going to keep the harmonica and the... Does the suitcase help you carry more stuff? Does it? Hang on, let me see something real quick. Suitcase. The character can take 4 items instead of 1, forgetting the suitcase. I don't think it really helps us, to be completely honest. Don't think it helps us. So we'll just send him with the gas mask and call it a day on that one. All right, let's go. 7 expeditions to go. This is the first one. Let's see. We just got to keep them alive. That is all that matters. Thirsty, thirsty, and thirsty. There are dire circumstances we find ourselves in. Supplies are running low, and if we don't take care of ourselves, nobody else will. We know for a fact that one of our neighbors has a shelter with a broken trap door, and there might be some supplies inside. Of course, there's a chance the neighbor and her kids managed to get in there in time, but we could really use whatever they have, and we're stronger. Should we pay them a visit? Yes. I'm down to rob everybody. Down to rob everybody blind. I'll risk it for a little bit. Nice. We are now richer in some supplies, but for some reason we don't feel very good about it. Let's just never mention this whole thing again. Alright, so we got plenty of food. Ever since we jumped into our fallout shelter, we've been wondering about the other door in the shelter. Should it even be here? Where does it lead? It's high time we check it out. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. We ain't got nothing to do it with. I probably would. If we had the stuff to get in there. I don't think I'd mind. Some things are better left untouched and unknown. Whatever's behind that door will have to stay there. We also stack some furniture against it just in case, just to be sure nothing and no one comes through them. Alright, where are we at? Dehydration, dehydration, dehydration. Alright, water the next day is going to be good. Let's do something today, something fun. If we don't, someone might snap, and that's the last thing we want. We don't have anything. Everything in the shelter's busted. Oh. Oh no. What? Did I go? I think I went one day too long. Did I miscount? I did. I miscounted. Oh, man. What happened to the dad, though? Okay, hang on. We decided that staring at the walls in silence is a great way of passing time. We found our walls painted with bizarre symbols and profanity. The shelter trap door locked, and the sign above read, Marlin rules here. Damn you, Marlin. Damn you to heck. Without those supplies, we'll surely perish, and without the explorer... okay. Alright. I guess I miscounted. At least I did it in the beginning and not later on. That could have been really bad. Aw. Okay, let's try again. Let's try again. Why did I do that? I don't know. I thought it was the first day of dehydration. Maybe I just didn't read it? I don't know. I don't freaking know. Survival. 7 successful. Okay, we'll just start that. Okay. Man, I don't know. Maybe my brain is smooth? Maybe it's been sanded down? Alright, let's see what all we have. 30, or day 30. Everybody's got their helmets. We got gas mask. That is all we have in a suitcase. Alright, let's skim through, I guess. Alright, we decided to get rid of those spiders with our bare hands. It's fine. Fatigued, 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 fatigued. Send Ted with a gas mask. God, that's crazy. That's crazy I did that. Alright, first expedition. Thirsty, thirsty, and thirsty. Alright, we were about to start our book collection. Our book club discussion when the only book we have to read, the phone book, when we were interrupted by rapid knocking at the door. Found out it was a group of refugees who survived the blast just like we did. They were doing much worse than us. No, we're not giving them nothing. That sucks because we had that event that let us get like 4 food. We would have been set for a while. Of course, we're going to like consistently give out, send out expeditions. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter too much. We could tell our guests we're not thrilled with our refusal. Their tired eyes alone were enough to understand how much they needed those supplies. They did not beg, but simply turned around and left in an unknown direction. Maybe they'll have more luck elsewhere. Okay, this is the first day of dehydration. We were sure we'd look through our supplies carefully, but Mary Jane spotted something we had missed. A seed, a plant seed. Should we plant the seed and see what happens? Yes. Yes, we should. So that'll give us a lot of food. Alright. Give everybody their water. Okay. You would expect a nuclear explosion to be enough to quench any petty arguments, but when the future is not looking too pretty and all you have is naked walls, not much is necessary for the explosion. It happened. We started fighting like crazy. We could barely sleep after all the arguing. Let's hope this won't happen again. Did that make everybody tired? Okay, cool. That was... made me nervous. When we opened the bunker door this morning to let some fresh radioactive air, we discovered a small suitcase on our doorstep. There was no note on it, and the neighborhood seemed empty. Should we take a look inside? Yeah, go for it. We'll probably get sick, but... let's hope we don't. Okay, no sickness, and I think it left us water. Yes. What? Ted died on the first freaking expedition with a gas mask. What is my luck on these, you guys? What is my luck on these? There's no such thing as too much water nowadays. We inspected it thoroughly after taking it out of the suitcase, but it looks absolutely harmless and purified. We hope we get to meet this generous stranger one day and thank him personally for keeping our family well hydrated. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand how I'm so unlucky with these challenges. It seems like... I don't know. It's just really crazy. Alright, we're going to send the mother out. Is she hungry? She's just regular hungry, which is fine. Man, that is wild. That is wild. Dolores is on her way to the surface. Let's hope she'll make it back safe and sound. Alright, the kids, dehydrated, starvation. Okay. Wouldn't it be fantastic if we could get out and leave, walk the surface like we used to? Smell the fumes and pollution. Ah, that's a scent of freedom we miss. Bum, 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 bum. Music is chill. I like it. I like it. Still, it's better to be safe down here than dead up there. You're not wrong. Just give them both. These are dire circumstances we find ourselves in. Supplies are running low. If we don't take care of ourselves, nobody else will. We know for a fact that one of our neighbors had a shelter with a broken trap door, and there might be some supplies inside. Of course, there's a chance the neighbors and our kids managed to get in there, but we could really use whatever they have, and we're stronger. Yeah, let's go pay them a visit. Good deal. We got that expedition again. Hopefully nothing crazy happens. Okay, nobody's injured, and we got a bunch of water. Alright, we had to do this for the family. It had to be done. We really didn't want to mention it again. How about we talk about something else? Soup, perhaps. Hang on. Hungry, fatigued, starvation, fatigued. We'll give them food tomorrow. Plants are usually green, so it shouldn't be too worrying that Mary Jane's plant is a bit glowy. It shines with a healthy greenish color. Maybe that means it will bear more fruit or vegetables. Whatever those twisted things hanging from that plant are, shall we collect them now? Yes. I think we're good on food and water now for quite a while. We just have to get the expeditions done. Alright, good call with the plant. We were able to procure 4 cans worth of food from it. The glow seems to give it an extra nutritional value. Alright, hungry, fatigued. Give him his food. You wouldn't expect the post-apocalyptic to be a time of peace since, you know, most of the people aren't around anymore. Yet, here we have someone at the door. When we opened it up, we encountered a strange-looking man in a blue jumpsuit who asked us to trade him a water chip. A water chip? What the heck is that? I'm good. Day 42. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, we were sorry to explain we didn't know what the water chip was and that we didn't have one. He thanked us in a few short words and left. Alright, she is starvation. So we'll give her food tomorrow. We'll trade the suitcase for a medical kit, for sure. Alright. The word man tried to make us buy fried cockroaches on a stick covered in some mysterious sauce. These snacks look pretty disgusting, so we turned them down. But we bought something else from him. He looked a bit disappointed. Alright, she needed food. No, tomorrow they're going to do water for both of them. We've always wanted to throw a party with a huge cake. For some reason, it never worked. One time, we promised a great cake, and it turned out it was a lie. Get out of here, kitty cat. That was a disappointment. We were glad. We definitely didn't. We're definitely getting a cake when the radioactive clouds are gone. All right, so that's Expedition 1. Took forever. Our relocation is probably something we'll be able to discuss after we get out of here. We're glad to see Dolores came back safely from the wasteland. Our expedition found no signs of any supply cache mentioned on the radio. Maybe our next trip will be more lucky. We were about to give up and come back empty-handed to the shelter when we ran into a church. It looked peaceful enough for an unexploded atomic bomb stuck in the church tower. A sizable group of people were busy praying to the bomb, chanting something about holy fission. That sounded really crazy, but those people seemed friendly enough. Cultists decided they won't be needing any holy water. We did a bit of miracle work, and it turned empty wine bottles into quite a few water bottles. One of the beds in the survival church quarters was filled with quite a few treasures, namely flashlight and a collection of books about evolution. We took the flashlight. Alright, so let's go ahead and just give her that, and just get her healed. Give them both their dehydration. She has nothing. And we're going to do another expedition. We'll send either the boy or the girl. We got checkers. Let's keep them for now, I guess. Yeah, let's take them with us on an expedition, I guess. Alright, that salesman was very friendly, but he didn't have anything that was interesting to us. She's starvation, fatigued, hungry, fatigued, starvation. So the boy and the mom need food by tomorrow. We'll send the daughter out and give food and water to the boy and the mom. I think the flashlight just helps survival. We'll just go empty-handed. Who cares? Empty-handed. Day 46. Is that my kitty? What do you want, Mr. Grumpy? Alright, let's see. Mary Jane went outside. Let's hope she hurries back soon. Alright, our town used to be... Oh, wait, hang on. I should probably check stuff. Okay, give her both. Give him food. Our town used to be a very quaint and friendly place before the blast. One of the townsfolk we often recall Old Man Jim, who would sometimes limp through our street. Turns out he's alive and well, and still homeless. Some things never change. He clearly misses us much as we miss him. He's been banging on our shelter door for the past few hours asking whether we want to buy a rock. Yeah. Give me 1 sec. I gotta let my cat outside. My cats act like dogs. They chill on the porch and then come in later, so I gotta let them out real quick. 1 sec. Sorry about that. Alien Cat and Grumpy wanted to go outside. Grumpy, I don't know if you've seen the episode I talked about him. He's called Grumpy because he's got an angry old man face, even though he's a little tiny boy. And then I've got Alien, and he is called Alien because he's got a big body and a little face that kind of looks like an alien. Everybody calls him Weird Cat or Alien or BC, which means butter and cute is what BC stands for. So it just depends on which kid's talking to him, I guess. We opened the door and greeted the old man with a smile. He was eager to show us his bag filled with rich choice of rocks and convinced us to take one for free for old time's sake. We agreed, carefully chose the best looking rock, and the man left. We can't complain. It's a good rock, really. Also, he claimed it brings luck. We'll see about that. Dolores complains she still can't get a good night's sleep around here. What she got? Fatigued, tired, hungry. Fatigued, thirsty, hungry. After Dolores returned from that last expedition, she was complaining about a minor foot injury. It might have been her right foot, or maybe her left foot. One of them. Anyways, it seems irrelevant at the time, but now both their feet are swollen. We need to do something about it. She is the last parent. I have to do something. Alright, she's injured. Crap. If there was one thing we could never consider, it would be cutting off any part of Dolores with an axe. Not only did she object to this, she would probably take matters and the axe into her own hands. It was in our best interest to avoid such a situation. We did use a heated axe blade to clean her wounds, and the infection seems to be fading away. The operation wasn't pretty, though, and we damaged our axe. Ouch! The axe slipped just a bit, and that must have hurt. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Okay, hungry hurt. We'll give him both. This dreadful silence is becoming boring. Like every happy model family, we don't have many things to talk about. Is there anything we can do about that? No, we don't have anything we can do about that. Day 49. There's nothing here. Maybe if we try really hard, we can hear the neighbors in their shelter. Okay. She is starvation. We'll give her food tomorrow. He is fine. What's that glow? Okay, what's that glowing in your pocket, Timmy? Oh no, mutated ants. Their terrifying little mandibles almost gave Dolores a heart attack. She wants them out, but Timmy says it's the beginning of an atomic ant farm. One of them has to have it their way, but who? Bum, 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 bum. Alright. Timmy reluctantly agreed to get rid of the insects, but once they escaped his pocket, they proved rather hostile, even bit his finger. Let's keep our distance in case Timmy decides to mutate and grow a mandible overnight. Alright. She is both. We'll give her that. He is fine. What the heck are those sounds? Are they coming from the gosh dang walls? They are driving us crazy. Is something crawling in the air vents? Relax. Take a deep breath. We should probably calm down before we start tearing them down. Maybe try something to relax for a bit. Yeah, we'll use the chest set. Day 51. Alright. Having some fun made us forget about... What was it again? Alright. She is fine, aside from being hurt. He is fine. He's fatigued and tired, though. We can barely breathe in this dang shelter. For the last couple of hours, the situation's been getting noticeably worse. There might be something wrong with the ventilation system. Maybe it's stuck. If that's the case, we need to look into fixing it right away. We'll try the flashlight. It's probably the insects, though. Hopefully nobody gets sick or hurt. Timmy got hurt, so they're both hurt. Come on now. The obvious thing to do when the vent is blocked is to check what's blocking it. However, when you shine your flashlight into a hive of mutated insects, things usually go from bad to worse. The angry hive is gone, but the insects did some biting before they fled. Okay, so the mom is fine for now. Dehydrated, so tomorrow I'll give him water. We were about to go to sleep when we heard scratching come from the door. At first, it sounded like an angry rat trying to eat the dang thing. We soon discovered it was something much worse. Someone is on the other side of the door trying to pry it open. We need to act. We don't have nothing. Alright, the daughter's back. That's good. That is good. The invaders burst into our shelter like a violent tribal wave and immediately went for one thing that was the greatest value to them, our water stockpile. They grabbed as many bottles as they could and left. Nothing made us happier than the sight of Mary Jane returning from to the shelter from the surface. The expedition was a disappointment when it came to uncovering any details about the hidden supply cache. We didn't manage to find any landmarks mentioned in the radio broadcast and still have no idea where to look. During our expedition, we stumbled across a half-ruined wall with some half-burnt painting on it. We quickly realized we found the ruins of our old local museum. Normally, we never enter the establishment like that without a ticket, but desperate times call for desperate measures. We jumped over the turnstile without looking back. In front of the museum canteen, we found a box with some water in it. It was probably left there by some delivery company. That delivery company is probably out of business now. Our guess is it was blown out of the market. Okay, so we basically lost 2 water, gained 2 water. The gift shop was in sorry state. While it's still standing, the whole place was flooded with souvenirs and junk. Or both. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference. The only useful thing we found was a padlock that was securing the safe behind the counter. The safe itself was empty, of course. Goodness. I had a cough. Okay. This run is tricky. Tired. We can't go on an expedition with everybody tired. Woke up to dripping sound today and noticed there's something leaking from those pipes. That green liquid looks innocent enough. Even after we ate through the table and chair and the floor, patching up that pipe is probably a good idea. We don't have anything to patch it up, so there's not much we can do. Not much we can do at all. We couldn't figure it out, so we just assumed that's what a regular pipe would do in the event of a nuclear apocalypse and decided to ignore it. We've been feeling a bit funny today, though. Probably no connection to the pipe, none whatsoever. Okay. Where are we at? I guess let's give them both. Give her food. They're still all tired, which is horrible. We need a med kit for the mom. Goodness. We found some weird mushrooms growing on one of the walls. Food shortage is no laughing matter, so maybe it would be a good idea to grab a mushroom bite or two. What's the worst that can happen? No. I don't think there's any positive outcome for the mushrooms on the wall. If there is, let me know in the comments. If there's some positive outcome that can come from that, please let me know. Day 55. What was that noise? We may be hungry, but there's some things we will just never eat. Wall fungus is one of them. Aren't there... Yeah, I wish there was some medicine. I truly do. Tired, agony. Tired, sick, dehydration. Tired, hurt, hungry. A young singer approached our shelter this morning, encumbered by 2 different guitars, a big backpack, and a weird contraption holding a harmonica in front of his face. He asked for some supplies in exchange for a folk song or two. Do we want to share? The radio can get us water, and we have most water, so let's give him a water. Next expedition, we'll take a water. The end. Gosh dang. Yep. There just literally wasn't anything we can do. Okay, let's just get back to the main menu and let's run another one real quick. Dang. Some of these challenges are crazy hard. Some of these challenges are just really, really hard. Alright, let's see. Maybe we'll look for another one, I guess. We already did that one. I mean, but the 7 expeditions just seems like the best bet, you know? We got really close one time. We finished that one. Scout book and first aid kit is disabled. Get rescued by the military or ally with a wastelander. Okay. Let's see what we have in the shelter. If the medkit's disabled, how do you do the wastelander one? I don't know. Alright, day 1. Is it just Timmy? No, it's everybody, but we have to keep... Okay, so we got cards, we got radio. Let's just gun for the... Could have been worse, surely, as at least we're all here, but what happens if one of us gets radiation poison or an injury? What will we do then, without medical supplies? Scout book was lost in the blast as well. If no other scouts made it, Timmy may be the only person in the wasteland who ever took a survival class, and we used to make fun of him for it. Well, we're not laughing now. Little Timmy needs to be protected at all costs. Okay, we stumbled upon a weird signal when changing radio frequencies. We're pretty sure that behind layers of terrible static and screams, we could hear a voice. A voice speaking in a foreign language. Oh dear, what if it's the Soviets? We should probably listen to it. But what about the children? Yeah, let's go for it. Alright, let's see. We were relieved at first when we figured out it wasn't Soviets we heard. Turned out it was the Canadians, which isn't much better. Either way, they're foreigners and we couldn't understand what they were saying. Not a word. How disappointing. Okay, we don't have to give water and stuff till the 5th day, then food and water on the 10th. How much food and supplies do we have? Some. We're going to send somebody out for sure. We have plenty of distant relatives, but this is the book. We can't even do it, so it's basically trying to find a picture inside the book, and the book doesn't exist in this run, so... we want to get radio stuff. That's what we want. We're going to send the dad out with a gas mask. To the left of the surface. We're pretty sure Mary Jane had her birthday 2 weeks ago, but it turns out it's today. Shall we get her something the young lady trapped in the shelter would enjoy? Bug spray, I guess. Bug spray, I guess. Gotta give everybody water now. Kids these days are all about spray deodorants. The anti-bug spray probably works the same way. Mary Jane was so excited. Yep, everybody gets water. We keep dreaming about those little things we did back in the day when there weren't as many bombs falling down. Not on our heads, anyways. Get to day 10, we can feed in water. Okay, we got a radio event. I hear the radio static. What we make of today will be our tomorrow, so let's make it right. Sure. A few more hours of coughing, and we'll get used to it. The ventilation fans have halted, and no fresh air seems to be circulating through the shelter. We have to fix it before we become suffocated like rats trapped by a professional and very cruel rat catcher. Yeah, let's use the bug spray. I don't want anybody to get sick or injured. I want to just get through this, you know? I thought I heard the radio event, but I guess not. We decided to spray the heck out of that vent just to be on the safe side. Turned out it was the right thing to do. A couple of mutated insects fell out, and followed by a gust of fresh air. Don't need to give anybody anything. Being safe down here is much better than being pulverized out there, but that doesn't mean we don't want to go outside. Maybe we could take a walk soon. The neighborhood is probably much more peaceful since the bombings. Keep Timmy alive. Get rescued. Okay, we gotta... When is the radio gonna buzz for us to get it at least started? Day 8. Dad's back. Gas mask broke. As long as we're safe, we can stay down here. Ted has safely returned from his voyage to the surface. We found our way to the nearby hospital, which, despite having structural damage, is still standing. The site wasn't pretty, though. What used to be inside the hospital is now all over the place. Whatever survived the blast wave, anyways. Canteen had respectable supply of tomato soup. It looks like this was the only thing they fed their patients. Now we're 100% sure it's healthy. Plus 1 soup. There were plenty of bottles of liquid in one of them, in one of the wards. Peroxide or not, the water is water. And beggars can't be choosers. Dang it, our gas mask was damaged during the expedition. We need to get to day 10. We'll send somebody else out again. We decided to peek outside just for a minute to see if the store around the corner was still standing. When we were about to step out, we heard a growl in the darkness, and a pair of ferocious eyes appeared. A few feet away. We only had moments to decide what to do. We don't have anything, so we're just gonna have to decide to do nothing. Day 9. Alright. In other circumstances, we might have risked battling a beast in the darkness, but for some reason we felt that that was not our liking. So we screamed and screamed with terror. The creature was probably more afraid of us than we were of it. It left in a hurry. Day 9, so we're fine till tomorrow. We're going to send the mother out. We should probably feed her then, if we're going to send her out. There's nothing to send her with aside from a suitcase and ammo. I don't really care too much about that. We need the radio to go off, though. Day 10. Now we need to feed and water everybody. Else, I guess. Dolores is on her way to the surface. Let's hope she'll make it back safe and sound. Alright. Food and water, food and water, and food and water. It's been a while. We don't know much about what's happening on the surface. If only we had a chance to tune into some emergency broadcasts and learn a thing or two. There's the radio. Alright. And we gotta keep the cards at all costs. And there's a phone ringing. I don't think we care too much about answering the phone. We were able to get a weak signal to tap into the government's emergency service. And guess what? Great news. The fallout outside is mostly gone. It should be much safer to travel on the surface now. You know what? Actually, let's go ahead and do the phone as well. Starvation, so feed Timmy tomorrow. We'll send the dad. We had thought phone calls were a thing in the past after the atomic bomb obliterated everything in our little town. However, a phone booth on our street survived the bombing somehow. It seems it's ringing right now. We should send someone to answer it. Alright, send the dad. That's how you befriend some survivors. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna try to do both. When we answered the phone, we could clearly hear a gasp of relief from the caller. They introduced themselves as a survivor from a nearby town of Hill Valley. We had started exchanging information when the call was cut short. Something must have gone wrong on their end. We hope they'll be back with us. Okay, so we're fine for now. Give Timmy some food. Timmy claimed he couldn't sleep last night due to Ted's loud, incessant snoring. Ted angrily retaliated by making quips about the size of Timmy's ears, which enraged Timmy even more. He's desperate for a solution. What can be done? We'll put him in the suitcase. That'll make sure that he can go on an expedition for us. Alright. He's sick, though. What the heck, Timmy? Little Timmy squeezed almost perfectly into our old suitcase where he dozed off. Whatever noises Ted might be making, the sturdy suitcase proved almost soundproof, and Timmy got a good night's sleep. How did he get sick? The kids have been all fidgety lately. They miss running around and playing games with each other in their rooms. Even the shelter is way smaller than their bedrooms. There's some space in front of the table that seems perfect for wildly sprinting around and playing tag. Yeah, why not? You know, Timmy's already sick. So, let's see if we get lucky and they fall or something and find something. That would be nice. As soon as they got permission, Timmy and Mary Jane immediately started running around, laughing, or at least spinning around since there's not much space in this tiny shelter. During their playtime, they noticed a single bottle of water tucked into the corner behind some empty cans. Lucky find. Give them both. Give them both. Give them both. We were discussing plans for our first meal that didn't feature tomato soup when we heard yells outside. We discovered they came from a small group of ragged survivors. They were a sorry sight, and we weren't surprised when they requested aid. They asked us to provide anything we could: water, food, or medical supplies. What do we have most of? Let's give them some water. All right. We're gonna get one of these endings for sure. Our visitors had problems finding enough words to express their gratitude. Many tears were shed, smiles and hugs exchanged, and they wished us all the best. It's a great feeling to be helping someone out. They left soon after to seek shelter in the ruins of our town. We hope they make it out there. Tired, hungry, sick and hungry. As long as we have food and water, we can stay locked in, but we have to leave eventually. It'd be a good idea to head straight to safety instead of getting ourselves into more trouble, if that's even possible in this situation. Our hope is that our brave soldiers will come and rescue us and take us to some well-hidden, well-stocked government shelter. Timmy had old comics about those, so you know they must exist. All we need to do is make contact with the military. Let's do it. Alright, the mother is back. Good deal. And she's sick. Good news, the government made a radio broadcast about extracting survivors from our area. The announcement asked everyone listening to wait a while longer and expect further communication in a few days. We'll be out of here soon. We're glad to see Dolores come safely from the wasteland. Atomic wastelands are hostile by definition, but there are some creatures that survive everything you throw at them, even nuclear bombs. One of them was a monkey who seemed like he had been through a lot, and yet it was very lively and more happy to accompany us on our expedition. At one point on our expedition, the monkey started making weird sounds and digging in front of us with a stick. The quick investigation revealed a few bottles of water. No one even tried to open them. The same couldn't be said about those bottles of booze lying next to them. +1 water. That's fine, I guess, but at least we got some water. Hungry, tired, sick, hungry. He's just hungry. Alright, we're going to send somebody else out. The other day, we heard a quiet knock on the door, but when we opened it, we found a suitcase on the doorstep, and there was no one around. It isn't signed, but it sure looks like it's meant for us. Yeah, why not? Let's open it. We were hoping it would be a bouquet of beautiful flowers or maybe a box of fine Belgian chocolates, but apparently you can't have it all. We will put these items to good use anyways. We got a flashlight. Woo! Starvation, so mom needs to eat tomorrow. We can't send anybody but the kids out. So I guess we'll send Mary Jane, but let's give her food and water first. There's not much she could take, but let's send her with the flashlight. Matter of fact, let's do suitcase, ammo, flashlight. I don't think I'll need any of this to escape with, so. Or should I just not? We'll just do... No, we might need stuff. Oh, it makes me so nervous. Let's just send her barehanded, because if we need something and they request it and we don't have it, it'll just completely screw up what we're doing, you know? Makes me nervous. Alright, let's see. Mary Jane went outside. Let's hope she hurries back soon. Alright, the dad needs both. The mom needs both. Son needs water. Let's just give it all to him. Enough of this plain, tasteless water. Dolores is really craving a cup of coffee. Real, true, blue American coffee. The kind that you can drink 5 cups of and still feel sleepy. But where are we going to find it in this wasteland? Well, Dolores' favorite diner used to be, a few blocks away. Maybe someone should go on the coffee run. You know what, Dolores? You want it? Yeah, but she's sick. You know what? Yeah, let's send her, because if she's sick, I'd rather send her than the healthy parent, you know? We're gonna risk it. Let's have her do it, at least. I don't think we got anything, did we? Our volunteer came back empty-handed. Apparently the diner is now just a sad hole in the ground with some seats lying around. What a letdown. Okay. He needs food. We'll just give it to him. When Dolores came back from that expedition the other day, she had a tiny scratch on her leg. It didn't seem serious at the time, but right now, it's quite a terrible sight. If we don't do anything about it, losing one leg will be a minor inconvenience in comparison to what might happen next. Isn't she already... You know what, let's just... No. 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 Dolores is just holding us back at this point. Okay, yeah, she's not injured anyway, so yeah, let's just not waste her time. We didn't do anything about the infected wounds. After all, our ancestors would survive without all that fancy medicine. Why should we listen to the doctors? Dolores is looking more sickly, though. Alright, hungry. Sick, hungry, tired, or whatever. Sick and hungry. Alright, we're not alone. There's a huge, hairy bunny beast that seems to be hiding in one of the pipes. It's been poking its head out, eyeing our measly food stash. We can't let it get to it. We can't let it be in here when we sleep. Alright, take the axe to the bunny. Our cans are saved. Too bad for the hairy mutant. Guess we're still on top of the food chain. Good for us. Thirsty. Starvation. We'll feed her tomorrow. We were visited by a young woman today. She is on a mission to rescue her twin brother who went missing after he challenged a local bandit leader for a duel. She said they've been observing us for a while. They were hoping to visit us together eventually, but then her brother went missing. She asked if we could help her reunite her brother and promise we will not regret it. We can't let Timmy die. Ted's in the healthiest position right now. You know what? Yeah, just send Ted, I guess. If he dies on this, I'm going to be pretty upset. Hopefully he's not injured or anything. Okay, he's fine. Good deal. One sec. Whew, goodness. The woman quickly called a group of friends and we set out for what turned out to be a successful mission. Finding the lost twin brother wasn't a problem. He was hanging on top of some antenna next to the fence, trying to escape. In his duel with the bandit leader, he lost a hand, but the group quickly tended to his injuries and he'll be just fine. The siblings thanked us 100 times and said they would definitely contact us again. Dolores has barely any strength left. Yeah, no. I'm sorry, Dolores. I'm sorry. He needs food and water tomorrow. She needs food and water tomorrow. He needs water tomorrow. Last time we went out on an expedition, we noticed an abandoned tank just sitting there in the open. It looks damaged, but it may contain useful supplies. Shall we send someone to investigate? Send the mom. Send the mom. Goodness. Alright, the mom's back. Let's see if we had anything. An extra bit of firepower never hurts. We were more than happy to inherit a military-issued rifle from the tank. Alright, that's not bad. Okay, so he needs both. She needs both. And we'll give them both because why not? The wasteland full of surprises. The man on the other side of the door knocking and claiming that he's willing to offer a lot for decent ammunition. Should we trade? Yeah. Why not? Oh, wait. Well, we might need that. What if the government's like, we need bullets. We need bullets. Our visitor was happy to get some ammunition in return. He offered us rations. It wasn't much, but it was something. Okay, where's the daughter at? Goodness. Like, did she die? I don't think she did. I didn't see that. No, because it would let us do an expedition if she did. Okay, so a woman came by with a creature she claims is a camel, provided that the camel has 5 legs. I really, really wish we could trade the radio. We can't, though. We have to ignore it. Okay, the daughter's back. Good deal. Gooden deal. She's sick, though, so not good. In the end, we decided our offers were not for us. Maybe another time if she ever comes back. Nothing made us happier than the sight of Mary Jane returning to the shelter from the surface. On the edge of the town, there used to be a big parking lot. Now it looks more like a junkyard. Most vehicles are completely wrecked and burned down. We figured it was still worth checking out. Under the burnt remains of a picnic table, we found some bottled water. Those bottles were not in the best state, but their contents looked perfectly drinkable. 2 water. It seems like the bomb interrupted someone's picnic. Thankfully, they were big fans of tomato soup, and the indestructible cans were scattered all around the parking lot, plus 2 cans. Alright, we are set for a little while. Hungry. Let's just give her that. Nothing. Okay. We're not going to send anybody out. Oh, goodness. An army broadcast interrupted our, let's call it, breakfast. Anyway, they seem very eager to evacuate us from here, but they went over several things that will need to happen before they do it. First item on the list is up to us. We were given geographical coordinates and need to get there. To leave a sign we're still alive. This should be easy with a map that we don't freaking have. We were sure we could find the location without the map. We were wrong. Hopefully we'll get lucky next time. Man, that is rough, actually. Give her food. Is the dad fine? Yeah, we'll do an expedition and send the dad out. Hopefully we'll get a map. We've been smelling something funny in the shelter ever since we woke up. Surely enough, there was something or someone started a fire, and it was already spreading. We can't save everything. What do we do to save us from the flames? Pick up the radio. Or, yeah. Save the radio, please. Look at this smoky shelter. That was close. We were able to put out the fire, and nothing seems damaged, but at least not very badly. Let's just hope this doesn't happen again, or we might need to call a fireman. Are there even firemen left? Alright, give him both. Give her water. Give her water. Give him both. Send the dad out. Let me check my little cheat sheet. Hang on. How can we get a map? The deck of cards will give us a map. But here's the deal, though. I think we might need the deck of cards in the future. Deck of cards can give us a map. Alright, let's give it a shot. Ugh, let's give it a shot, I guess. And hope he comes back in time and we can do that. Ted left for the surface. Fatigued, hungry, sick. Fatigued, hungry, sick. Fatigued, hungry, sick. Everybody. A bunch of sickos. We played a game of list the things you hate the most, and our neighbor's name kept coming up for some reason. That reminded us of a little weasel had a safe in his living room. We always wondered what's inside. Maybe it's time to finally find out. But who will do the honors of stealing the possessions of our arch nemesis? Let's send the mom, I guess. When we opened the safe, we heard a loud bang in the room filled with thick, nasty smoke that smelled of rotten eggs. The guy booby-trapped the safe. Sure, it slowed us down, but it didn't stop us from taking the most prized possession. Take that, Ned. Too bad we won't ever get the stench off our clothes now. Alright, everybody's fine for now. Group of doctors knocked on the door today requesting some supplies that would be helpful in refilling the first aid kits. We didn't doubt that they were real doctors for a second. They did have lab coats and everything. Shall we help them? Yes. We don't have a choice. And let's hope they return quickly. A bottle of relatively clean water is the closest we'll ever get to hydrogen peroxide. The guests were grateful anyways. Fatigue. Okay, starvation. Starvation. Alright, so food for the women. Well, for the girl and the mom. We were admiring the radioactive landscape when we saw a young woman dressed in ragged camo clothing. She had a nasty-looking rifle, but she held us in a polite enough manner. She claimed to be a hunter tracking a big mutated spider. She ran out of ammo and told us that if we were to help her out, she'd pay us back in the future. I'm fine with that. Goodness, my chest. Alright. We agreed mostly because we're kind of curious what she's planning to do with that spider once she catches it. She doesn't want to say. Maybe one day we'll find out. Okay. We'll just give her both. Give her both. And give him water. The twin siblings have paid us a visit, asking if we have a map of our town and a shelter. The group is becoming bigger every day, and they're slowly running out of space with their tent. They're now traveling through the city looking for a good spot to make a camp. We don't have anything. We don't have the map. Okay, the dad returned, and watch him have the map. Nope. Okay, I don't think we're going to win. We have to have the map for both. We could use the map ourselves. Our friends understood and said they'd pop in from time to time to check if the situation's changed. Oh, gosh. While exploring the wastelands, we got a bit tired and decided to take a short stop and rest. It's a good thing we took... Oh, my eyes aren't working. Cards. Nowadays, there aren't that many things to do. There aren't that many things relaxing to do around solitaire under the greenish radioactive sky. We were about to go. We noticed a few bottles stuck in a pile of junk. Those cards we took with us outside. Well, they're staying outside. That sucks. Is there anything else that can give a map? Bug spray? Do we even have it? We don't. What can give us bug spray then? Harmonica gives us random item. We don't have that. Flashlight does nothing. Suitcase just lets us carry things. Axe isn't anything that'll give us something. Yeah, we're pretty much just like hoping for straight RNG to help us. We'll send the daughter out, I guess. Of course, hang on. Yeah, the daughter... Yeah, okay. Did somebody stop by? Man, this is rough. Yeah, we'll send somebody out, though. We almost forgot about that one time we shared some water with a group of people dressed in lab coats. Out of the blue, they came back today and administered us with some healthy-looking shots. They were so real. So they were real doctors after all. Why did the mom not get healed, though? Was it because she was diseased? Is there just no healing that, I guess? Or is it, like, random if some of them don't get affected? At least the kids are back to normal, so I've got something to work with. Nobody's anything, so we're fine. We're gonna send the daughter with a flat, well, that. What else do we have? we'll send her with an axe as well. Flashlight and axe and just see what happens. Man. We need a map so bad. We need it for both things. What are the odds, right? Dehydration. Okay, we never thought we'd live to see dancing cockroaches. We still haven't, but we saw one that was as big as a cat. Good news is, they're probably scared off any rats in the area. Bad news is, they are huge and will probably attack us when they get the chance. There's not much we can do. Alright, we got a radio thing. I really hope it's, I don't know. Oh my, that thing is huge, and there goes another one. Roaches everywhere. We're doomed. We already feel so dirty. Alright, let's see. Dehydration. Dehydration. We'll just give her one, and he's dehydration too. We're able to see another message from the government military is preparing a rescue mission. They want all survivors to head to a specific location in the area, then leave a sign that someone is still alive and kicking nearby. The problem is, they provided us with the geographical coordinates, but we need a map to find out where we're supposed to be headed. Otherwise, it's just complete gobbledygook. Okay. Man. We were sure we could find the location without the map. We were wrong. Hopefully we'll get lucky next time. Tomorrow feed the kid. Okay, so we don't have anything for the bugs either. They're just growing in the area. This is insane. Why would we talk to roaches? We're going insane. Are we? Sure. Whatever. Just... Dang, man. Why? I feel so unlucky with these challenges. Chain of lights on the horizon, pulsing and flashing in a chaotic manner. It didn't make much sense at the time. But when we discussed it in the shelter, Timmy said it might be a secret scout signal. We don't have the book, so we can't do anything with it. Alright, the daughter's back. Please have a map. What do we do? Alright, nothing made us happier than Mary Jane returning from the shelter to the surface. Or from the surface. We were happy to find the fire station in our town is in at least semi-operational, even after the apocalypse. It's not really shocking. Firefighters are the greatest of heroes, right after the Marines and the ice cream men, the ones with the happy tunes on their vans. Although none of their faces looked familiar, we're sure they're the real deal. They had uniforms, helmets, and everything. They even had customized their headwear by drawing a lot of menacing skulls on them. How creative. Near the garage, we found a few firefighters shooing off some giant mutated cockroaches with the fire hose. We joined in on the fun and managed to fill some water bottles in the process. Although initially friendly, firefighters became a bit anxious after a while. They handed us a can of bug spray and asked us to not tell anyone about what we saw here. We're not sure why, but they're too humble and don't want people to come shower them with gifts. We really wanted that suitcase. Fire axe got damaged. Alright. Well, actually, bug spray can get us a map. So that's really good. We'll send the mom out with the bug spray. Use the gun for the roaches so nobody else gets sick. Pew, 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 pew. The roaches might have had the numbers, but we turned out to be the strategic masterminds. After we murdered the leader, it showed its severed head to the army. The remaining roaches scattered in a panic and ran away. Alright, does anybody need anything? Water. We got plenty of it. We'll feed the daughter tomorrow. And we're going to send... Who was it? Yeah, the mom. Send her with the bug spray. Please give us the map. Please give us the map. It's like our only hope. If we don't get the map, we can't escape. It's literally our only option. Alright. And what was it? The daughter was thirsty? Or hungry, I mean. We'll give the boy food and give the girl water tomorrow. Alright, we don't have anything to trade for. Slight knock at the doors. Let's see which knocking at the door. It was hard to turn her down because of that dang cheerfulness, but we did it anyways. Alright, so that was the trader. Let me see. Let's just go ahead and give everybody what they need. Siblings visiting again with the map, for the map, but we don't have it, so let's just skim through the day. Hopefully the mom returns here soon and she'll have a map, because that's what the bug spray is good for. It can give 2 cans of soup, map, or radio. We have a radio. So I'm guessing it's like a 50-50 that we get the map. Alright, nobody needs anything. Our family's been stuck down here for a while now, and we're very worried this might be an adverse effect on Timmy's education. Can he even read anymore? Are there any... Up there, he at least consumed a comic book or two a week. Now there's nothing. We need to give him something to read. Bless you. Okay. Mom's not home yet. We don't need no education. It's a new world, and schooling won't make any difference. It's all about who owns the most cans now. One can, 2 cans, 5 cans. He's dehydrated, starvation, and dehydrated. So, water, food, water. Ted and Mary Jane have been butting heads lately. Today they got into an argument about movie characters. Specifically, who would win in an ultimate battle? Maleficent with an axe, or the Queen, or the Wicked Queen with a rifle? It's a tricky one for sure, and the debate is heated. Who will come out on top? Let's do the dad. Typically when I do the dad, I end up getting like an item for it. Like it's a can of food or something. Yep. Mary Jane was so confident about her case, she said she would bet a full can of soup on it. In the end, Ted's arguments were just stronger. Mary Jane begrudgingly handed him a can. We're not sure whether to be grateful for it or angry that she was hiding it all along. So what was it? Water, food, water. Is anybody else? Yeah, that's just it. Knock, knock. Sound always surprises and confuses us. It could be anything, good or bad, but we're always curious. Should we open it? Yeah, go for it. What is that noise? We opened the hatch, but there was nobody there. Dang pranksters making jokes even after the apocalypse. Fatigued, hungry, fatigued, dehydrated, hungry, starvation. So water and food. Today, the army broadcast interrupted our, let's just call it breakfast. Okay, so they need the map again. We don't have the map. We need the mom to return with a map. Please bring a map. Please, please, please. Oh my gosh, dude, what do we do? We were sure we could find the location without a map. We were wrong. Hopefully we'll get lucky next time. We were glad to see Dolores came back safely from the wasteland. We went on a trip to a more specific place this time, a local museum in the Tranquility Lane. Several rooms and corridors, wall decorated with some charred paintings that survived the blast. The whole place doesn't even look that bad. It's almost like a modern art exhibit. The front of the museum canteen was, we found a box with some water bottles in it. It was probably left there by some delivery company. That delivery company is probably out of business now. Our guess is it was blown out of the market. We were hoping for some sweets or snacks, but all the museum canteen had to offer was tomato soup. Those poor, poor tourists. Between the rubble, we found a half-destroyed statue of a lady. She didn't get a lot of clothes on for a gas mask somebody put on her face, probably as a joke. We were hesitant to approach as the lady was dressed immodestly, but then we saw she was holding an urn. As long as there was an urn, it's art, and that's okay to look at. Everyone knows that. At one point during our expedition, we were ambushed by a pack of mutated cockroaches. We managed to scare them away with bug spray. In their nest, we found a supply of soup cans. We didn't bring the bug spray back from the expedition. It might sound paranoid, but we think someone followed us. Let's hope it doesn't happen again. Man, what do we gotta do here? We're just in a really bad situation. We gotta send somebody else out. We were sure we'd look through our supplies carefully, but Mary Jane spotted something all of us missed. A seed, a plant seed. We should plant it to see what happens. Yeah, let's go ahead and, I guess, do the plant. How do we get a map, man? How do we get a map? I guess we'll send somebody out and... starvation. Okay, the mom's fatigued and tired. We can send the dad now. We don't have a suitcase, but we can send him with... I don't know, a flashlight. Nothing we have gives us a chance to bring back a... let's open this up real quick. Open that up real quick. Let's see. Character will better resist radiation. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like we're in a rough spot. Dehydration, starvation, dehydration. Alright. What's that glowing in your pocket, Timmy? Oh no, mutated ants. Their terrifying little mandibles almost gave Dolores a heart attack. She wants them out, but Timmy says it's the beginning of an atomic ant farm. One of them has to have it their way, but who? We'll save the mother. We don't need no mutated ants running around the shelter. Bless you. On the topic of atomic ant farm, Dolores put her foot down several times. She swatted and stomped furiously with a look of glee on her face until all the insects were dealt with. Timmy was mortified. Starvation, sure. When we heard a knock at the door this morning, we held our breath in fear, but we soon heard children's voices coming from outside. We decided to open up. Turned out the voices belonged to a pair of Girl Scouts that used to sell cookies, but now they have branched out to offer other items too. Ugh, we need somebody to trade a map or something. Gosh. This is crazy difficult. Although the girls were very brave and walked around the wasteland like that, sadly we didn't have anything of interest to us, and we declined their offer. We wished them a nice day and left. Okay, she needs water. We'll just give her water tomorrow. This is terrible. We can't sleep. We don't have problems sleeping ever since we got down here, but now it's worse than ever. If we don't deal with this problem, we won't be able to cope with any other challenges that wait us. I mean, yeah, I don't know. There's not much we can do about that. Another knock at the door. Probably the twins looking for the map. Ravingly ignoring our symptoms, we tried to get at least an hour or two of sleep. No luck. We were even more tired than we were before, and there were problems we need to face soon. Let's just hope our yawning is enough to scare raiders away or save us from radiation sickness. Yeah, everybody's tired now. Even worse. There's the twins looking for the map, and we don't have it. The dad's back. Please give us a map. Please. Nope. Ted has safely returned from his voyage. Woohoo! Who would have thought the wooden furniture would be so durable? In the ruins of one of the town's buildings, we saw a desk with several bookshelves. We soon realized the remains of the local library, so we went between the rubble to investigate. Under the librarian's table, we found a lunchbox and some food in it. We wondered what could have possibly prevented her from eating her lunch. The collapsed ceiling might have taken her appetite away. Under the debris, we found some water bottles. They're a bit dusty, but the liquid inside looks clean enough. Alright. Let's go ahead and give him stuff, give her stuff. I mean, we got plenty of things. We just need the map. Gang of thugs outside. I guess we'll try to send somebody out. We'll use our only weapon. Gosh. It's a little frustrating because it's like, all we need is the map. I wonder if this challenge gives, I can't remember, is it, or I don't know. I don't think I've ever tried this challenge. Is there a chance that the map can come pre-stocked? We were able to defend our home this time. What if they come back? Our rifle broke. That's not good. That's not good at all. Starvation. Let's just go ahead and give him something. Nobody can go because everybody's still tired. Sheesh. I could get the manhole event. If I get the manhole event, there's a chance to get a map down there if I have the flashlight. We woke up to some dripping sounds today and noticed there was something leaking from the pipes. That's green liquid, innocent enough. Even after I ate through the table and the chair and the floor, patching up that pipe would probably be a good idea. Let's just use the gas mask. Bless you. Alright, day 55. Problem solved. No leak, no mess. Back to our tidy little shelter. Alright, so we'll go ahead and give him water. Go ahead and give her water. Nobody can go out still. Day 56. Yeah, let's just give her both. Try to get her not tired. Alarm! Someone's trying to break in and they're not alone. We better get ready, or else we might end up dead or worse. I don't have anything. There's nothing I can do. Is that the end? Okay, so we survived. They just robbed us a little bit. That's good. Okay. Did they take the daughter? The enemy stormed into our shelter, but instead of grabbing our supplies, they got Mary Jane. She put up a fight, kept biting her kidnappers furiously. I didn't know they could do that. That's freaking crazy. That's crazy. Poor Mary Jane. Alright, so she's no longer tired. We'll send her out with a gas mask. We're going to keep the flashlight in the shelter just in case we get the manhole event to get a mask. And let's hope the mom brings back a mask. I don't know. Give Timmy some food. Timmy is bored out of his mind and he won't leave Ted alone. First, he wanted to play tag. Now it's hide and seek, which are both terrible ideas for a small shelter like this. Ted is in a bad mood and he just wants to be left alone, but Timmy isn't giving up. How about charades? Sure, let's do charades. Oh, goodness. This really wasn't the best matchup. One moment, Ted and Timmy were calmly writing down riddles, and the next, they were screaming at each other, accusing the other of cheating. How do you even cheat at this game? Okay, today the broadcast interrupted. We don't have a map still. Hey, we're gonna get to like day 100 with no map. Like, what do we even do? We were sure we could find the location without maps. We were wrong. Yeah. Alarm! Someone's trying to break in and they're not alone. We better get ready or else we might end up dead or worse. We don't have nothing. Yeah, that was the end. Dang it, you guys. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Let me look over and see what time we're working with. Yeah, dang. Okay. Alright, well that was a good attempt. We gave it a good shot. Oh, the book. I was clicking on the back of that guy's head like it's gonna do anything. There's no telling what'll happen to us next. We're at the mercy of these thugs, and it's unlikely to have a happy ending. It's the end of the line for us all. Okay. We gave it a good go. We'll probably give this one another try. I feel like this one's a bit RNG. Like, this one is really RNG. Because you have to have the items. You have to get lucky and get the items to escape with, you know? So, either way, let's call it a wrap. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, make sure you subscribe if you want to see more. If you don't want to see more, but you want to help out the channel, you can like the video. That really does help. You can leave a comment. That helps as well. Either way, I hope you had a good day, and I hope tomorrow's even better. And I will see you here next time. Goodbye.